Here we go, man. New year, year 5, and the message to the team was really what it's been all along. It's about who we are, what we believe in, and man, staying hungry. Staying hungry, putting the work in, cannot be content. And I believe we'll be just fine with that. We got the right guys and have been building it for a long time. So there are dudes. They're going to be ready to go. We're going to push them. We're going to make sure that we hold them accountable just like they will us. We got to be on our stuff. And, man, we're looking forward to it. The guys crushed the conditioning test. Everybody passed. Weights were good. You guys saw the PUP list. Really the only two guys from that list of guys that you guys know aren't practicing today, Muhammad and Alex will be the only two that don't practice today. Well, and Pittman, it's the other one. Just a couple little things we got to make sure they're good injury-wise. So anyway, we're ready to go. Guys are excited. It's good to get them back in here. Coaches are excited. Questions?
We start with Alex and just maybe expand on what's going on with him.
Yeah, he did a great job, man. He crushed the conditioning test. It's awesome. Weight was good.
Is there any residual from that? Is everything settled?
No, I mean, he wasn't here last year either, so in the spring.
It seemed like this was more contractual based, so is there anything settled there? Is there anything clear on your part? Injury issues?
No, I mean, not that I can really talk about, He's here, reported, did great on the conditioning test, weight's good, and ready to go.
It's not a hold-in situation, just last month that with him not practicing.
What's that?
They said it's not a hold-in situation with him not practicing.
Well, no way, right? I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that.
And some of the pup decisions, can you just give us a little bit more information on what's going on with Taylor, Josh, and Levi?
Oh, okay, that's the other one. I'm glad you brought that up. All right, let me start with Levi. Levi is out for the year. All right, Levi's surgery was, it was significant, but it needed to be done, out of his control, and it needed to be done, and so he will miss the season. Paschal, who was the other one after Paschal? Okay, Deck, we feel like there's a good chance we can get Deck back after the Hall of Fame game. He's good. He had just cleaned out the shoulder a little bit, and we're going to work him back in when he's ready to go get the strength back, but he's in a good place. Paschal will be just a tick longer, probably early September. Labor Day, maybe we can start working him into practice. That's the plan right now. So both of those guys had some surgeries to clean some stuff out and help them out. So that's where those two are at.
Levi, not the back, something.
Yeah, it's not the back. Yeah, it was a knee, ACL. So he got that taken care of.
Dan, when we talked to John Wharton in May about the offense transitioning away from Ben, he kind of gave the "if it ain't broke, don't fix it," speech sort of idea. Where do you feel confident in where where this offense is going as far as what you want to see? The playbook, how guys are adapting to the change.
Yeah, I do. I think we've got a real good vision of where certainly where I see it going and where we want it to go and what really what we believe in. We're still, man, the ground game is important. It'll always be important. Got a number of players that got to show up for us, as everyone knows. Those players know. But man, our old line, we got to sort this old line out. It's an open competition right now, and that's going to be important in this camp. Is we got to find some guys that we know we can count on. They're going to win the job. They're going to be guys we can rely on. I know Hank will do a good job getting them ready, but it's really about putting our guys in position to win their one-on-one matchups, because we got some guys that can do that. And so what is the matchup of the day? What's the matchup of the week? And let's let those guys go win and let golf get us in the right play and facilitate it. So yeah, I feel real good about it.
And the way last season ended, obviously, and with losing the coordinator, some of these injuries you just mentioned, is it hard not to temper your enthusiasm a little bit, knowing the long road ahead and the things that have happened?
No, I mean, I think, first of all, you're always enthusiastic. It's a new season, it's a new beginning. You understand what that road looks like, and there's going to be nothing easy about it. But I think it's, every year you do this and you just realize, hey, man, just get in, win this division. That's always going to be the goal. Find a way to win your division because now you're automatically in. And then it's about, once you're in, it's the matchup. And don't worry about the, okay, maybe we got to go on the road. So be it, or if something happens and you take your best unit, you put your best practice that you can together, find the guys that you're going to use to try to go win that game, and then let it ride. But no, I'm still as enthusiastic as ever. I know these guys are. There's a price to be paid to get yourself back into the dance, back into the tournament, and that'll never change. And if we let that slide at all, then we're going to be sitting here at home in January, and that's not what we want. I'll go to you, and then I'll come to you.
Back to the coordinators a little bit, just particularly John and Kelvin. What are their greatest strengths for people who might, fans might be wondering, and where would you feel like they would help the team the most in these new roles?
I think both of those guys are very detailed. I mean, you strength, there's a number of things they have, but I think more importantly, it's about it is about the detail. Johnny talks all the time about RCE, recognize and communicate and then execute. And that's big. It's big for us as coaches. That's big for the players too. And Shep, is no different than that, man. Shep is about the detail of what we do and having the ability to get into something per what the offense has given us, a little bit more leeway to our backers, to Jack and those guys and Alex to get us into the right play for what we think they're doing over there. So we're trying to expand a little bit here. We're trying to, we're trying to put it a little bit more in the players' hands, and so the more coaches you have on the field, during the game, the better off you are. So that's where we're trying to really grow and get to the next level here.
Kind of a follow-up to what he was saying. National opinion is coordinator changes, team takes a step back. Is too much being made of a coordinator change to your philosophy of the team, or is that a real important thing that you have to?
Well, I mean, first of all, it doesn't matter what I say. All right, it's already been written. So that's coming, right? That's already a narrative. I'm not going to change that. None of us will. A loss, it's coming. We don't do well on offense, it's coming. Something happens defensively, it's coming. So that narrative is coming. It's written, it's done. I have no control over that. If you're asking me personally, yeah, I don't think it's what is played out to be, I've said this before. It hurts to lose two guys that, man, have been here from the beginning, got a lot of trust and faith in. There's a lot of communication that goes that's not even said, because once you get to that, you understand each other, a look, a nod, a body demeanor, and says it all. And that's just a little bit of what we got to gain together between myself, Johnny Morton, and Shep, But that takes a minute. It takes time, and we'll get it. It'll come. That's what practice is about. That's what preseason games, early in the year, all of that. So, we'll be good.
Your big injuries kind of happened mid-season last year, but was there anything about just the way last season happened that made you reevaluate how you approach training camp or just getting the team ready at all?
No. I mean, we got to go, man. There's restrictions on what you can do anyway. We got an acclimation period here for 4 days, and then once we put the pads on, we're going, man. Like we do. We got to get ready for a hard season. You got to condition the body physically, but we'll be smart about it like we always do. So, nope.
Dan, what's the upside to starting this early, being the first team to be in camp?
I don't know. Because really, I guess the nature of where we're at, we won't necessarily, I got to looking at this, I think we're going to have about the same practice we had last year, and we're starting 3 days sooner. So, oddly enough, and it has to do with some of these night games on the road, Atlanta, the Hall of Fame game, as to when you can start once you get back, yada, yada. So I don't know how much of a jump we're getting, really. But I guess you get an extra day or two, for the young guys, for the rookies, so that's good, right?
Dan, what the last 3 days, Tony, the coordinator stuff, I think you always do this, right? You put them into a situation in camp where hey, you got ball plays and figure out how much does that sort of help you get to know them and know you what you want? And then on the defensive line, since you're around those three guys, just how do you feel about the depth that you have there right now?
Yeah, so those situations are good, and every year we did more and more and more and more. And I mean, shoot, man, spring of last year, spring of 24. I mean, that's a significant amount of things that we did in the spring. So, but we grew to that. We'll do that again. It's going to take us a minute. Probably first 4 or 5 days we won't really get that much into it. Afternoons we'll do some stuff, but we will because it is important. The only way you're going to get put in that, that type of situation is under fire, man. The clock's running, and here's the situation. It's on you, and you got to make a decision. So we'll do that, and that'll be good for them. The depth, feel pretty good. It's there again. You don't like to lose anybody. I mean, certainly losing Levi, that hurts, but it helps that we got Tyleek, so we've got a little bit of balancing, a little bit of balance here. And then, we feel good about getting Paschal back here at some point before the season. So, I think all in all, I think we're pretty good. I like what we got in that room, and really there again, man, we got an opportunity for a lot of guys. We know we'll get Mac back at some point during the season. We just got to, get the best unit that we can to come out of this, and then we got to weather any storm until we get reinforcements, because reinforcements are coming. At least we know that.
Whether it's intangible or a position group, what's your biggest, worries is too strong a word, concern, question mark in your mind going in?
Say that one more time.
Whether it's which position group or maybe something intangible is your biggest, concern for you going in? Well,
I think I already mentioned. My eyes are on the O-line. I want to see what that unit's going to do and what's going to come out of that. We need some guys to step up for us. It's a great opportunity, and we lost Frank and Zeitler's gone. And so we got 2 or 3 more spots there to, for guys to step up and help us. And once that happens, then mesh, the guys that we know we can trust, this is where they're going to play, and then getting whoever those 5 are together to where they start working together and start trusting each other.
Mike, last question. Dan, you were on the Billy Lucci show recently, your old teammate, sounds like your old roommate maybe too.
Yeah.
You talked about how you showed the team a scene from The Last of the Mohicans ahead of the Packers game last year, and I was just curious how much movies or song lyrics or any sort of pop culture comes into coaching, and do you feel that that's more of an effective way to kind of get a point across?
Well, I don't know how many of the guys even knew what Last of the Mohicans was, first of all. So every year I age myself out. But I'll do that every once in a while. I do it a little bit. I don't do it a ton, but sometimes I think it's because it's just a change up, right? It's something different. It's interesting. It's out of the norm, and if it delivers a message, then I do it. But it's not something I do all the time.